Hi, Tom Bennett here. We're going to talk with you today a little bit about subscription bundles and how that worked for our farm as our farm grew over the years. And a little bit about myself. I am a first generation farmer, a Marine Corps veteran from 2001 to 2010. Developed a passion to get into farming once I got out of the Marine Corps. That kind of developed while I was in, and began looking at ways to get into farming once I transitioned out of the military. And regenerative agriculture was one of the avenues with the lowest barrier to entry. And it also fit really well just kind of with our ideals and principles and the way we thought that our farm should look. I have a wife and 6 kids, and most of them are in high school. So they're getting older now, which is great because with all of the markets that we're at. So a little bit about Bennett Farm's history. We started out probably, it would have been around 2010 to 2016, just kind of raising animals for ourselves and whatnot while we were getting situated and building our house and just kind of getting our lives established outside of the military. And then in about 2016, 2017 timeframe, we started out with bulk orders, whole and half hogs. And part of the way that we were successful in doing that in our early days was we would actually blanket neighborhoods we would buy mailing address list and just spam entire neighborhoods or parts of cities with bulk order flyers. And so we would send out thousands of them a week sometimes, depending on how much time we had to fill them out, because we were actually doing those by hand. Like we weren't buying the envelopes pre-printed. We were filling those out, putting stamps on them. And it was very time consuming, but it did help us grow before we even had a web presence. And then as that evolved, we got a website, and we had a website for a few years, and we knew we wanted to sell online. Like that was the next step. And then it all kind of came together with Barn to Door. So that was really one of the biggest steps in our growth curve, was getting our online store. Once that happened, basically the same time that happened, we were able to go from being part-time hobby farmers to I was able to quit a very profitable job that I had off farm and farm full-time. So we were able to make that transition to full-time farmers once our online store was up and we had that sales avenue as well. And then we kind of made the evolution into farmers markets and direct sales that way. Actually, one of our first farmers markets wasn't even a farmers market. It was a campground. And I kind of had the idea is there's a couple thousand people at this campground every weekend. And if I can't sell meat to 2,000 people with grills, then I probably shouldn't be in this business. So we went that way. That was actually our first farmers market ever, was at a campground. And it went really good, especially on holiday weekends. So we kind of grew from there, did more farmers markets in person. We had a website, but we knew we wanted to be online because people would ask us all the time, where can we get your product? Do you ship? Can we find your stuff anywhere else? And we were always like, no, you just got to kind of, email us or meet us here at the farmers market. And we wanted a way to sell online. And then we finally made that happen here about a year and a half ago. And it's been great for us. That actually was one of the biggest growth curves to our farm's growth, was when we transitioned to online sales. The great thing about online is that store never closes. It's open all the time. And a lot of people do their shopping when they're in bed at night on their phone before they're going to sleep. They're scrolling through Facebook. They see our ad. They're thinking about what they're doing for dinner this week or next week. And it can be an impulse buy a lot of the times, I feel like. But it's worked well online. All right, so we sell subscription bundles. Those have been awesome for our farm. They've been amazing. We didn't expect a lot to happen with them. When we first put them up 4 months ago, we posted subscriptions in our Barn to Door store, and we just kind of threw them up there. We did not put any effort into marketing the subscriptions. We just kind of, put it up. If it takes. If it doesn't, not a big deal. And we saw amazing success instantly with the subscriptions with very little effort, and immediately realized like this was big. Like it was something that people were really enjoying and they wanted. The way our subscriptions work, we do 10, 20, or 30-pound boxes. We only do pork and poultry. That's all our farm raises. We do pasture raised pork and poultry. It's farmer's choice, so that gives us the flexibility of choosing which items to put into the boxes each month. Our customers know that we're not going to put in any junk cuts, no ham hocks, no pork fat, no bones. We give them only the most premium stuff. So we really care about making sure that our subscription customers feel like they're getting an excellent value, that they're getting awesome products, because we want to retain a subscription customer more than any other type of customer, honestly, because their subscriptions are very profitable, and they have the option to cancel at any time. So we tell them up front, like, they can opt out at any time that they see fit. So we really want to keep them happy. We have not had a subscription customer cancel as of yet. And we think part of that's just a testament to making sure that they feel like they're getting a value every month when they open that box, that they're never disappointed. I know a lot of them look forward to it because it's like they sent a present to themselves, and it's just the excitement of, what am I going to get this month, And then you usually see those customers later in the day on social media. They'll tag you in a post, and they're just super excited, telling all their friends about the stuff they got in their box this month. And so that's always nice. It makes you feel good too. They're 12-month subscriptions. They do end at the end of 12 months, and then the customer has the option to renew if they want to. We've set it up for 12 months. You, as your farm, you could do what fits for you. So maybe 6-month subscription works good for you if you're doing like a vegetable subscription box, if you're growing products like that. But we found 12-month works really good for us. Pricing for the customer. So the customer has an expectation for convenience, and we really try and compete. Like, I feel like we're competing with Amazon. We're trying to anyways. Like, we want to be as easy for the customer to order from and work with as the billion-dollar companies. And I feel like we're succeeding on that level to some extent. So you got to meet the customer's expectations on convenience, with free delivery, with being able to order from their phone while they're laying in bed at night, like those kind of things. The subscription boxes are really accessible to people. So it gives you a larger customer base, as to where before you had your customers who would come in and buy, a few things a week from your farmer's market, be it online or in person. And then you have your bulk customers who buy from you once a year, whole or half hogs. These people with subscriptions, they're like right in the middle of those people, where they never really had a fit before, because they want the savings of like a bulk customer, because they do want to have your stuff every month, but they just don't have room for it in their freezer. And this is a nice way for those types of customers who maybe live in an apartment or in town and just don't have a garage with a chest freezer in it, for them to kind of get some of the savings of a bulk order customer and just have it delivered once a month to them, as opposed to getting it all at once. Some percentage of the boxes that we ship out actually end up on Instagram or Facebook, because people open their boxes and they lay them out and take pictures. And like, we want those things to look awesome when they do that. And it's just, we don't ever want to let them down. That's our biggest thing. So the subscription customers, they get the best of the products that we have. Actually, any online order that we send out is always the best of the products that we have. If we have something that's like, yeah, it's a good pack of bacon, but I've seen better, like that, we'll go to a farmer's market in person, where like the customer actually has to pick it up and say, yes, I want this one. We let them buy those that are, aren't like the best ones that we have. Our subscription customers save about 15% over our retail cost, which is a pretty good savings. That's the way we achieve that is if they're paying $68 for a 10-pound subscription box, we make sure that we put $80 worth of product in that box, and it also hits 10 pounds. So, and they also get free deliveries on subscriptions. That's another nice thing. And one of the most important things is that they know that they can cancel at any time. So maybe they, financial situation for them changes next month. It's not a big deal. Like, I've had customers who order a half a hog for the fall pickup, but they also at the same time order a 20-pound subscription box per month. And they're like, hey, we want to get this subscription box, but we're going to cancel in the fall when our hog comes in. Like, yeah, go for it. Sounds good. You cancel anytime. So they'll get a subscription box to hold them over until their bulk order comes in too. I've seen that a couple of times. So those are some of the advantages for the customer. All right, so pricing for the farms. This is my favorite slide, and I have lots of great things to comment on about this. So some of the things, what subscriptions do for your farm. It's guaranteed sales. So when you see a subscription order come through, I'm way more excited about that than I am a regular order, because that's not just a one-time purchase. Like, those people have kind of committed to coming back every month. You know, they're going to be making that purchase automatically. So it's stable. It's gotten to the point with subscriptions now where they basically underwrite our entire farming operation. And I did not expect that, like, at all when we first started with subscriptions. But it is now to where, like, if everything else dried up, if we lost restaurant accounts or all the farmers markets were closed down because of COVID permanently for an indefinite amount of time, like, just our subscription customers, that's grown enough now that we could pretty much stay afloat and meet our obligations as far as our farm bills, you know. So that way it gives you a peace of mind that type of monthly income is really hard to get rid of. Like, as far as it's not going to just fall off one day and disappear, because all of those customers came on at different times, different months, different weeks. So even if they just went through their 12 months and then didn't renew, they're all going to drop off at different times. And you constantly have more subscription customers coming on board than you have going off board. We actually haven't lost any subscription customers yet. No one's canceled. So we just keep getting more. But that's way more consistent than if you're tied to restaurant or wholesale accounts with grocery stores or chefs. Those can just disappear overnight because of one thing. But this is not going to go anywhere. There's a huge cost and time savings to the farmer. So we were able, like this past week, I think it was, we delivered on Saturday one of our subscription zones, and we did the amount of product that we delivered in 3.5 hours to just our Saturday subscription delivery zone was the amount that it would normally take us 15 hours or more to sell in person at a farmer's market. And we were able to do that in 3 hours. And we probably only spent an hour packing those boxes total. So it's just a huge time savings for you. And you actually get to keep most of your profit. So the subscriptions for you as a farmer are probably your second most profitable way that you're selling stuff, aside from your a la carte, you know, individual items in your online store. Because if you're selling wholesale to restaurants or grocery stores, you're probably giving up 20 to 30% off from your retail price. If you're selling in person at a farmer's market, you're not, even though it feels like you're keeping all of that revenue, trust me, you're not. There's a cost associated there with your time. So if you're there, you can almost feel like you're keeping it all, but you got to remember, like, that you don't work for free. And I know we pay, you know, high school kids to run some of our market booths, and I know what they make per hour. And so you add that up with the cost of being at the market for the market fee for the day, plus fuel to get there, and all those other little expenses that, you know, you kind of overlook. You'll easily be back at probably 30% on your sales at an in-person farmer's market that you're giving up. So it's really, it's one of the avenues where we get to keep most of our profit compared to some other ones. And the demand's predictable. So we know right now that next week, you know, if we have subscriptions going out, how many are going, well, how much stuff we need. And we'll actually pack those way in advance. So that way we don't have that to do at last minute. So we'll pre-build 10, 20, and 30-pound boxes and just stack them in the freezer and then throw a name on them when it comes time to fill those orders and send them out the door. And we'll do that, you know, when we might have a free afternoon occasionally, just to kind of stay ahead of things. In summary, subscriptions have been awesome for our farm. Like I said, it's gotten to the point to where it gives us peace of mind knowing that our bills are going to be paid, even if everything else falls apart. Like, the subscriptions could hold us up in theory. So that's awesome overall as a farmer, just for that security. So subscriptions overall have been awesome for both us and our customers. It's a win-win for everyone. And thank you guys for listening to what we had to say about subscriptions. I hope it helps you out. And you can check us out at Bennett Farms Michigan at Facebook and Instagram, or hit up our website at bennettfarmsmichigan.com. And if you have any more questions too, and you want to reach out to me, you're welcome to message me at any of those avenues, and I can help you out.